All right, everybody, so how can you buy a farm using traditional financing still with $0 out of pocket?
Right.
We know Sawand, he bought his farm with $0 out of pocket using creative financing, but now we have Michelle, who bought her farm with $0 out of pocket using traditional financing. This is probably the route that a lot of you guys are gonna go. So we're gonna talk to Michelle about how she did that and how she's making money off of her farm using a farm hacking strategy as well. Let's get into it. So Juan and I, we did a video regarding how he makes money on his farm. Everybody know who Sawand is at this point. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Michelle Robinson. I am pretty new to Greensboro, but I think we came in and made a little statement.
Nice.
I am originally from Raleigh, born and raised in Raleigh. Moved to Charlotte for undergrad, was there about 15 years, and recently just relocated back to Greensboro last year. We closed in June, and it's been up ever since then.
Nice.
That's what's up.
So you've been in Raleigh, you've been in Greensboro for how long now?
A little over a year.
A little over a year.
Nice.
Now, I know we had this conversation the other day. I know you mentioned growing up in Raleigh, growing up in Charlotte, and growing up in, well, not necessarily growing up in Greensboro, but living in Greensboro. Which are the three cities you like the most?
I definitely prefer Greensboro. Raleigh is always home.
For sure.
And Charlotte made me who I am. So I left
Where'd you
Raleigh.
go to high school in Raleigh?
I went to Southeast and I went to Fuquay.
You went to Southeast?
Yeah.
You went right here.
I graduated from Fuquay in 09. My parents moved to Fuquay.
Okay.
So I went to Fuquay schools for the most part.
That's crazy.
My mom, my grandma, my grandparents are from Southgate. So right
Okay.
there by Southeast.
I graduated Southeast 08.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's crazy.
okay. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Got it. So why Greensboro for you?
Because you can't get this in the heart of Raleigh and you can't get it in the heart of Charlotte.
Yeah.
I love Raleigh because it's home. It'll always be home. I love Charlotte because it's Charlotte. I mean, it's a city.
Right.
But Greensboro, you're not going to find this in either of those cities. I mean, you can go to the outskirts and get it, but in the heart of the city, you're just not going to be able to find this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you could probably get it, but it's gonna be a lot more expensive. To
Right.
be able to, so you gotta,
She said in the heart too.
In the heart, right.
Because we like 10 minutes from downtown.
And we
Right.
have Greensboro
Yeah.
addresses.
right,
So,
Right.
this is
for
the
sure.
heart of
Yeah,
Greensboro.
exactly.
So, that's important. That's super important because location, real estate, we talk about location. Location is everything. And when you guys are looking for the right spot, can this work in your area? It probably can, but pricing is everything as well.
Absolutely.
So I'm not gonna buy a farm right outside of New York City
Right.
or within the heart of New York City for,
Right.
the kind of money that you can pay
Yeah.
in the heart of, and we're not saying that Greensboro is a small city by any means.
Right.
It's a good sized city. There's a couple million people in this area. So location is super important.
Right. But you don't want to be in Eden, North Carolina,
Right.
where you get no appreciation.
Right.
And
Exactly.
if something goes wrong, you don't get no rent.
Exactly. Exactly.
And Greensboro is growing. It's been growing. The colleges are here. A&T drives a lot of traffic. We're 12 minutes from A&T. So
Nice. And you
It's
got
definitely a good
A&T's
spot.
doing something here, or at least
So we
alumni?
worked a lot with A&T last year. I am an Aggie alum myself. We've got the band that booked the farm for Jiho. So we work
Nice.
heavy with A&T.
Nice.
Absolutely. So with that being said, what gets you into farms? Like what made you want to get into this?
So to be honest, I just needed somewhere to put my horses. So
What made you get into horses?
the therapy behind it, to be honest. So
Nice.
I took a lesson and I just fell in love with it. I believe it or not, I've only been in the horses going on 4 years. I started off with my lesson
buddy.
horse. Shout out to Charlotte Cowboys for teaching me how to ride up in Charlotte. I bought the horse I learned how to ride on. We used to board in the city of Charlotte. Crazy enough, it's a lot of Cowboys and Cowgirls in the city of Charlotte. So we boarded in Charlotte, and I was just like, all right, if I'm gonna buy a spot, I need somewhere to put my horses.
Something I learned from you, just the other day when we were talking, I didn't realize how big the cowboy and the farming community really is.
Right.
I'm really getting into this stuff just on the strength of some information that I got from Sawand.
Right.
So I'm intrigued by it myself. I think I expressed that the other day. I was overly excited about it because that's something, I'm becoming real passionate about this. But I didn't realize how big of a community this really is. You know what I mean? So, how big is this community?
A lot of people don't know that we as in Black started the cowboy cowgirl thing. Like it started with us. And that's really what drew me to the culture as well, because I didn't know that myself. Like when I started riding, it was just like, okay, this is cool. It's relaxing. And then I started, learning about the trail rides and learning about the history behind the Black cowgirls and cowboys. And I honestly fell in love with the lifestyle. It's a real close-knit community. We take care of each other. It's just a vibe, to be honest.
It really is.
And then I recently found out, after purchasing this property, I bought my grandfather out here, and he was like, I rode horses my whole life. I had no idea. So it was in my blood, and I had no idea.
And it's new for somebody like me. Obviously, I come from New York City, so we don't ride. We ride what's called the iron horse. So we ride trains and stuff, man. That's the iron horse. So being out in nature and just having access to this amount of land, and I live right down the street from here.
Right.
Literally, I could drive, I could be home, I could walk home. That might take me 20, 30 minutes to get there, but I could get there. I could be there, drive, but it's right here, right in the vicinity, and people actually doing it.
Since you got this, does like family come over more?
All the time.
See, I was telling him about like our last house. None of my family came over.
Why do you think that's the case though?
Well, one, I'm closer. So being in Charlotte, they would come for like my kid's birthday party and things along those lines. But I see my siblings every week.
Yeah,
we're out here every
excellent.
Sunday grilling. My dad lives 45 minutes up the street. My sisters live 30 minutes up the street. So we're a lot closer than we were. We had a lot of deaths in the family too that kind of brought us closer, that kind of drew us closer together. But it's a blessing to have my family out here, man, to be able to provide a spot for us to be able to gather and not be bothered.
And that makes sense because you're coming from Raleigh. They had to drive all the way out to Charlotte. They had to pass here.
Right.
You know what I mean? To get to Charlotte. But now you here, so you're at the sweet spot. I feel like this is definitely the sweet spot
for sure
when it comes to North Carolina, for sure. So in regards to purchasing and stuff like that, we're gonna dive into the numbers a little bit, only because I know that's what people really want to see.
Well, is this your first property?
So this was my first property.
Yeah.
This is my first property. I jumped out here and bought all this.
So you were renting before?
I was renting the entire time I was in Charlotte. I was renting.
Yeah.
I was renting. And I knew that I wanted to be a homeowner. Of course, everybody wants to be a homeowner.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was looking for an acre, just a little acre. But I'm also a licensed real estate agent. So I got to looking, set up my filters and stuff, and it popped up.
So what made you want to go from an acre to, you have 7,
right at 7.
This is 7 right here.
Right at 7.
And you got another 17, which we'll talk about, a potential 17 on the back end. But what made you go from thinking about an acre to a property this big?
The potential, especially looking in Charlotte, because I wasn't sure I wanted to move this way. We were looking in Charlotte, and then we slowly started moving back towards this way, like Concord, Lexington, just coming back this way. And then I realized what I could get versus what the prices are in Charlotte versus what the prices are here. It's like, why buy an acre when you can do this?
Right.
If I'm buying an acre, I can't do what I can do here on an acre. You know, this pays for itself. If I'm on an acre, I just got a house. A house in a yard. Sure.
That's what's up. She said filters, though. I want to know what them filters was, and a lot of other people will want to know what do you mean by those filters and what they are. For sure. So when you're searching for a home, you want to filter on your budget. You want to filter on your criteria, really,
now
what exactly you're looking on.
Just to clarify, she's a realtor.
I am a realtor.
She's a realtor. So when we saying filters, for those of you who don't know what that is, or you're brand new to real estate, filters are basically...
It's your criteria. It's what you want to stay under. So if you got a $500,000 loan, you want to filter so it'll only show you homes under $500,000.
That's it.
Just for an example. If you want a 3-bedroom, you don't want to look at 5-bedroom homes.
Right.
So you just set your criteria.
So now, what were your filters on this property?
So crazy enough, I didn't want to go over $500,000. And when this property hit the market, it was at like 6. So I looked all around here, but it never popped up until they dropped the price. So when they dropped the price, it popped up. At the time I purchased this property, I was not licensed. So I was doing it on my own. I had a realtor. Shout out to her. That's neither here or there. I had a realtor, but I located the property myself. So for y'all, those of you that aren't licensed, you don't need a license to be able to find things.
Thank you.
Yes.
You do not need a license to be able to find things. I got a license just because it made sense for me. But again, I found this before I was licensed.
And just so you guys know, when I first started in real estate, I started off as a licensed agent, became a broker in New York City, but I hung my license up in 2005 because I started investing. I realized I didn't need a license to do this. Now, some people, like my daughter, for example, you guys have seen her on a previous video where she picked up a wholesale check at 14 years old for 13,000 bucks, right? She's going for her license now because that's what is going to benefit her. But she's involved in real estate. She's 20 years old now. But do you need a license to buy a house? Do you need a license to invest in real estate? Do you need a license to buy a whole bunch of land? No, you don't. So I'm glad you clarified that. Now, she got the license because it benefited her.
Right.
You know, so do you need a license to do this? Absolutely not. Now, if your local municipality, let's say you want to run a farm, your local area, they require you to have a license to run a farm, and that's a whole different story. That's something that you got to look into.
Right.
I don't know enough about it, but do you need a license overall? No, you don't. And I know Sawand, do you have a license?
Never had a license, never wanted one.
It's a lot of fees.
Yeah.
A lot of fees that come along with it.
There's a lot of governing as well. You know, when as an agent represents other people, an investor buys for themselves and sells for themselves. So
now these days, a lot of people are talking about, they talk about owning a home and then not really being beneficial for the next person.
Right.
You saw something different. You saw that, okay, I'm a renter now and I want to own some property. First off, why do you think people feel like renting is more beneficial than owning a home?
The maintenance. That's the main thing I hear from my clients. Yep. So we got to pay for this now. We got to pay for this now. And I'm just like, yeah, but that rent you paying could have went towards something that you can pass down. You can't pass down a residence that you rent. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And if you work the deal correctly when you're buying, make the sellers get a warranty so you don't have to cover those things.
Right.
So there's ways around all of it.
Nice.
But the main thing I've heard is that maintenance, whether it be yard maintenance, appliances, HVAC, whatever that is, they're not ready to jump into that just yet.
Now, you said they lowered the price. So at first it wasn't in your filter, but then it was.
Right.
So was it on the market for a long time, or?
They were ready to go. They were ready to sell.
They were motivated,
I don't even think it was on the market for a month. But when you're motivated, when you're ready to go, a month is a long time.
Yeah.
I know they said something about their kids were playing travel sports or something, and it was just too much for them to maintain. But I could tell even when talking with them, they're just like, whatever we got to do to get the deal done, let's do it.
Yeah.
Nice.
They were going to make money on it regardless, so they were willing to drop that price.
For sure.
That makes sense. So I want to dig into the filters a little bit more, but I also want to dig into the house hacking part of it. Okay. So I think people house hack or farm hack rather, because let's keep it a house hacking for now, because I think people can understand that concept, right?
Right.
People house hack because over the past few years, obviously prices jumped in real estate,
right,
making it unaffordable for people, and that's why people feel like renting is better than owning,
right,
which can have some truth to it,
right,
at this point. But owning has a long-term benefit, like you mentioned. It can, it's something that you can pass down.
Right.
It's something that you can build equity in. You can sell it and get all your money back that you put into
Plus
it.
more.
Plus more.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the benefit of owning. So when it came to this property, I know you only wanted to spend $500,000. I know you spent less.
Right.
We'll talk about it. Let's get into those filters a little bit more, and then let's talk about the numbers a little bit. So what were the exact filters that you were looking for with this? So I know you weren't looking for a farm at first.
Right. No, I honestly was looking for a house. I was looking for a house with a yard. It didn't even have to be an acre. I just needed somewhere to be able to put my horses, because at the time I was looking at a separate plot of land to keep my horses, because I didn't want my horses in my backyard. I love them with everything in me, but I don't want to walk out and smell horse. I never have. So I was looking at just a house, and then it was like an acre in Asheboro that someone was thinking about selling me. Then I was going to keep my horses there. So my filters were under $500,000 in Greensboro, 4+ bedrooms, and that was it. I wasn't picky. I knew I could renovate whatever. I just needed to get out of Charlotte.
Were you looking for the traditional style home? Like that regular.
Not really. My fiance does not like neighbors or neighborhoods, so that was never gonna work.
Yeah.
You know, being in a neighborhood was never going to work for him.
Was y'all okay with like fixer-up kind of style?
Absolutely. We have a fixer-upper. I mean, it's not like it's livable. It's not, you know, but this house was built in 1925. So it's a lot of work a lot of modernizing that can be done to it. Some people like the old aesthetic. I'm not a fan. But we're going to get there for sure.
Which got you a better deal at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
You got a fixer-upper with some land attached to it. Same approach that you took.
Absolutely.
There's some commonality. So Sawand, he wasn't necessarily looking for a fixer-upper, but he was looking for a problem, right? He came across a guy who had some issues that wanted to sell, and it was just beneficial.
Like straight cat pee when we bought it.
Well, and then you did put some work into it. You did put some work into it. I know you did.
Yeah.
Immediately, by the way.
Absolutely. The wife wasn't taking that.
Right.
She wasn't trying to move in.
But your property had tenants in it, so you know after a tenant moves out, you're naturally gonna put some money into it, right? But you wasn't looking for a farm either.
Nah.
It became that.
Yeah.
You were looking for the private residence first, and then the land just was the cream of the crop.
I just knew I wanted to make money with it, and I could only fathom I just needed enough space that my wife was comfortable. Right, there's enough space that we can make money on the land, and we can figure it out from there. You know. Now they was a little quicker. That was a little quicker with the money making, cause you said you bought it in June. Y'all did y'all first thing in July.
In August.
Yeah,
in August.
I definitely want to get into that as
quick.
well. So you ended up paying how much for this?
$439. They were at $499. So it was like $660 or something.
That's crazy.
They dropped it to $499.
What did your realtor say to you? What did your realtor say to you when you said you wanted to go that low? Because I know that could be a little, you know.
It was more so whatever you want to do, because of the state of the house. It is a fixer-upper. It's an older home.
Yeah.
So she was like, keep it between $430. I already had the number I was going in with anyway.
Yeah.
Again, I had a realtor. I didn't need a realtor. I just wasn't licensed.
Right.
So, but my realtor was cool with whatever I wanted to do.
Nice.
I mean, her commission was beautiful, regardless of, you know what I'm saying, regardless of whether I went, 4 or 5, she was gonna get paid beautifully. So, but she was cool with it.
And that's the beautiful part about finding problems, right? So this property right here had a couple of different issues. You had a seller who wanted to get out quick, so they dropped the price from 6 and change to $430, which was her accepting price.
Right.
She bought this house for $430,000 with 7 acres. Now, what's the square footage of the house?
It's like 2,300 square feet.
2,300 square feet with 7 acres of land.
Amen.
Right? Because the seller had a problem. They had an immediate problem that she was able to solve. Then on top of that, the house, how much work would you say it needs, roughly?
It doesn't need anything. It's totally fine.
To live according to your standards.
What I want to bring it to, my bad.
It's okay.
Probably about $50,000, and that's a full kitchen regut, full bathroom regut, just to put it to where I want it to be.
There you go.
Amen. I love it.
So you got something that probably don't need a lot of work, but in her eyes, it needs some TLC. And then on top of that, you had a seller who wanted to get out. Solving problems, that's what we do as real estate investors. Yeah. So one situation very similar. You had a guy who wanted to get his tenants out, still wanted to make some cash flow. He created a seller finance opportunity. Now with this one, you went the traditional route with how you purchased it. First off, how did you buy it? Like what financing mechanism?
It was a conventional loan, 0 money down. I still don't know how I pulled it off.
Was that the terms from the bank? The bank just say you can do 0 money down?
So I had 2 different options, and the one I went with was Navy Federal, and that was 0%. I'm sorry, 0 money down. And then state employers was like 1 to 2%, but why pay 1 to 2% when I could pay 0?
So Navy Federal, that's a credit union, right? So you went through a credit union to finance it.
Right.
They gave you a better terms than where you were going to get anyway. And this is a year ago. This is a year ago.
Yes.
So this is at the peak of...
Market's still crazy.
Yeah.
Market was crazier a year ago.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So you look for an opportunity. You found an opportunity in a crazy market where sellers was overpriced and everything.
Right.
And people believe that you can't do it.
Right.
You can do it.
You know what I mean? And you got 0% financing. So 100% financing from the bank. Did you have to put down any closing costs or anything like that?
No, so I had to pay, I think, 0.5% of my realtor's commission. They did 2.5, she wanted 3, whatever. I get it. And that's all I had to pay.
So on $430,000, you were looking at how much out of pocket?
It was honestly like $1,500.
$1,500.
It might have been $2,000.
$1,500, 7 acres, 4 bedrooms. How many baths?
2 baths.
Jesus Christ, 2,300 square feet. That's amazing.
You know why that's crazy? Because you got people putting down $1,500 for security deposits on apartments.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's low.
Right.
That's super low.
Yeah, that's low.
Exactly.
Super low.
Yeah, that's just the security deposit.
But you own a home with $1,500 out of pocket. The Navy Federal finance the closing costs as well, most of it?
I think I paid it out of pocket just because of it. Like,
it was nothing.
It was $1,500. You know
Got it. So then you move in, you figure out, okay, there's an opportunity here. How did you see the opportunity? How did you get the vision?
Did you know you wanted to make money like once you bought it? Or it was
everybody wants to make money, you know. Everybody wants to. When I saw it and I shifted my brain from an acre to this, it was like, okay, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. Being in the trail ride community, I knew off the gate, like, all right, this is what we're gonna do.
All right, pause.
It makes sense.
How did you get into the trail ride community? Because you mentioned horses, so you had those before you even bought the house,
right?
Right. You just said you were in the trail ride community before you even thought about a farm,
right?
But you weren't necessarily looking for a farm.
No.
So how did you end up in the trail ride community? How did you end up? Like, how did you get fascinated by horses and stuff like that? What got you into all that?
Yeah, so anyone that's ever rode a horse, you know how therapeutic they are. It is literally, it's addicting. So the guy that taught us how to ride was selling the horse. So I bought the horse, I learned how to ride on. But I've been going to trail rides for years. I've been going to trail rides since I was in college. I won't say high school, it ain't been that long. But that was just the party aspect of it. I wasn't riding trails. I wasn't out there earlier. I was partying. You know, I was dressed up in boots and I was there and I was line dancing. But when I realized the connection to it, and that didn't come until after I learned how to ride, it became bigger than a party, for sure.
That's cool, man.
We had a nonprofit in Charlotte. And then when we moved to Greensboro, we made official saddle club. So we have members, Country Ken Saddle Club, shout out to y'all. It was about 30 of us. We're down to about 18 now, but we are officially like a saddle club that goes to trail rides as a club. We pull our horses out. We actually do the whole 9 yards, whereas before I got into horses, it was just a party to me.
It was just a party. And
so the trail ride is where people come out, they ride horses and then line dance, or
for sure. So it starts. Most trail rides, some of them start off at Wednesday night. People pull in with their campers. It's typically an all weekend thing. They camp, they fellowship. You know, you don't see these people every day. People come from different states all across the East Coast to meet up in a central location. So Wednesday and Thursday, people are pulling up with their campers, setting up camp. Friday, they typically do a party. Saturday morning, the trail typically leaves 10 or 11 a.m.
Nice.
So we saddle up, we ride the trails, we come back, we have lunch, we chill, and then we party.
Oh, I love it. Love that. Okay, that's what's up. Love that. Yeah.
So that's how you get into the trail rides, and then you figure out, okay, you get this property, there's a way to make some money with this.
Right.
Got it.
For sure.
That's what's up. Well, look, let's walk around a little bit, and you can tell us how much money you make and how all the different ways you make money.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do it. Also, she's on the fence, so if we walk past the barn, she can't. She can't go back.
Okay, nice. That's what's up. So when it comes to like having the barn here, like I know, you know, because you wasn't looking for the acreage at first, but then you found a property with a barn, because this was here already, right?
So the barn was honestly more of a selling point than the house was.
Nice. And
it really was. Just because it's an open canvas.
Yeah.
It's enough space to do really whatever you want to do in here.
I like that.
We're in the process of fixing it up. We got a couple events coming up. Hence all the tools everywhere.
Nice.
But we've done everything from line dance classes to small intimate weddings to family reunions to all of that just inside the barn.
Nice. Well, let's talk about money then. So when they use the barn, right? Are they using the field and the barn, or are they just using the barn? You have an option for just the barn.
It's an option for both. Most people get both the field and the barn, but you certainly have the option to just get the barn or just get the field.
That's what's up.
What are you charging for that?
So the field and the barn it depends. Now, G-Ho prices are a little higher. But on the regular end, we're looking at $350 an hour for the barn and the field. Just the barn, about $120 an hour. We don't too much tax for the barn. And the field by itself is about $220 an hour.
That's what's up.
That's the land paying for itself. And I know you're a photographer and a videographer as well. Do you ever throw those services in?
Absolutely. I don't do as much photography because I'm busy with the farm. But if someone's having an event here and they need photos, I do that. A lot of people come out here and reserve the space for their like engagement photos and things along those lines. If they want a horse, we rent the horses out for pictures.
So that's plus. Okay, so your venue price is $350 an hour. What else can they get? They can get the horses. They can get photography.
Yep, they can get the horse for $150 per horse per hour. My photography package, that's just the price. You're gonna pay that on top of. It depends on what it is. It depends on what it is. And then I bounce houses here. A lot of people that have family reunions or kids' birthday parties, we do a lot of those. They can reserve the bounce house for like an extra $120 for the duration of their event. So it's a lot of add-ons with renting the space.
Exactly. So with tables and chairs, do you typically add that in? Or
I include tables and chairs unless I have to rent more. I have like 20 tables and like 100 chairs. If I need more than that, then you're going to pay for more than that.
Absolutely.
But I include that in the price.
Now, what was the initial investment for tables and chairs?
I picked them up marketplace free. Look, I'm a Facebook marketplace.
That's right.
Yeah. So
high five.
Most of them were free. I bought the chairs. Someone was selling a lot of them. I think it was like $100 for 100 chairs. The tables, I bought the plastic ones, and then the wooden ones. He was like, "We'll take these two." So honestly, probably like $200 for 20 tables and 100 chairs. Not much at all.
And what do you rent them for?
Just the tables and chairs themselves. They're included with my rental. I don't really rent outside, because I don't want to deal with
obviously at $100
bucks, at
$100 they pay for themselves.
Absolutely.
Right, for sure.
You know what I mean? Before we get too deep into the money making part of it, let's talk about a little bit more the financing part. So we talked about 0% down. What was the credit package like?
So I worked on my credit. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't $0 down credit either. I had some old stupid stuff I did in my 20s that I got rid of, like some old accounts that were like, $100 to pay off. Negotiated those down. I do a little bit of credit repair too, so I understand the process. I think I was probably at like a 760-ish when I bought this. Maybe not. It may have been like on the lower end of 720, 740.
Nice.
It's the deer running through the yard.
Let's get it. I love the deer.
You can qualify, on today's rate, like 680.
680 credit to get you 0%. Now let's say somebody, they got between a 580 and a 620 credit score. Let's just say.
For sure. You might not be able to get this at 0%. You might want to go the investment route, but you can definitely make something happen for sure.
That's the importance of having.
I think that's good.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's good
for sure.
And that's the importance of having a lot of people I talk to want to get started in real estate. Sometimes their credit are just not. It's just not right. You know what I mean? So that's the importance of keeping your stuff tight.
Right.
And if you made some mistakes in the past, get it cleaned up. Does that need to stop you from moving forward? Absolutely not. Right? Because you can still learn the game. You can still make money in real estate, but improve your situation over time.
Yeah.
I
got a guy that's got a 760 credit score. He was so concerned with how much money he's gonna have to put down, and I'm just like, bro. So just because you have good credit don't really mean that you think you got, At some point, I know a lot of people got that less than 680, but there's a lot of people with more than a 680, and just know that by Michelle's example, you can have zero money down.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you can also negotiate it and all of that equity that she got too.
That's right.
Because I'm sure, did it appraise for more than that? More than the 430?
It did, for sure.
So that helps.
I can't remember offhand exactly what it appraised for, but it was definitely 5, closer to the 6 range that they were asking.
Yeah, exactly.
You bought it with over 100,000 in equity.
Yeah, exactly. And on paper, you can structure that as seller concessions and use for your down payment, or use it as like a contractor's draw and hire people to do certain things before you move in. So that way you can still keep it at zero money down, and get all the things that you need. So,
and that's why Navy Federal was like, this is a deal.
Oh, that's exactly why.
That's exactly why.
Oh yeah. No, banks want you to have good deals. It makes the loan process easier.
Exactly.
Did they close quickly for you, or?
Yeah, I closed. I don't even think it was a 30. I pushed it out because my lease wasn't up until September.
Yeah.
But we could have closed within that 15 to 30 day range just because everything was what it was.
Because you have big equity.
I know a little over a year ago, rates were still high.
Rates were high.
They were in the
my
sevens.
rate is high. It's right at 7, I believe.
Yeah.
I
that's
think,
with a 760 credit score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's like, the rates are what they are. It is what it is.
Nice.
If you go the traditional route, you can always refinance later. Like it just
Boom.
is what it is. It's not a reason to keep renting because the rates they're not going down no time soon.
Plus,
I love
the
that.
farm pays for itself, I'm sure, or close to it at this point.
Sure.
So within a month after purchasing this property, you started doing trail rides. What was that like? Because now, I live in a community. I know it was bananas.
Right.
I know the lines was crazy down the street right here.
So our first event, it was crazy because it was when Hurricane Debbie was here. So it was crazy amount of rain. The field was muddy, but trail rides aren't necessarily clean.
Yeah.
So we had so much running through our minds, like, and that wasn't our event that we hosted. I let somebody rent the field to have their event, which is
nice.
It was a lot quicker than I wanted it to be. I mean, I knew that's what we wanted to do, but we were thinking like, let's get settled in first. Nah, we didn't do all
Nice.
that. So
that's great.
It was a dope. They had a couple celebrity performers out here. We had Michi. Michi sings a lot of the hot trail ride songs right now. We had him out here a month after we closed. It was crazy work. Definitely a successful
How did you
event.
make that connection?
So the guy that threw the party, this Now We're Not Elite, that's the promotion group that had the party.
I heard him.
Yeah, Booby and Slav, Carl Ray. They threw the party, so they made those connections. So for that event, I was simply a venue. It was dope though because I have a saddle club. I'm in the community, so I was out here enjoying the festivities for free. Because I live here.
Right.
So
and
it was real dope.
He just validated recognition.
Right.
Nobody knows that you have this farm now.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
What was the investment like for that?
We didn't have to do much. So for that one, nothing came out of pocket for me. They rented the lights, they rented the stage, they did everything. And that was our first event. So like you said, now we're validated. Now people know who we are. Now people have seen the space. When you're riding up Alamance Church Road, you don't know this is back here.
Right.
Yeah. So, the property, it's been here. It's not new.
Right.
But, they had the first event, which, like I said, the vision was there. We knew what we could do with it. But that first event really put us, on the map as far as a venue goes.
And you went big on the first one. Somebody with some recognition. That's free marketing for the farm.
Right.
And it paid for itself.
How many people came to that one? Do you know?
Great question.
It was a lot. I know it was enough people to where we ran out of parking. My neighbors were generous enough to open up their parking.
It was crazy.
It was
a
a lot.
It was nuts.
It was a lot.
I drove past.
Yeah.
It took me 10 minutes to get from the gas station to right here. It was nuts, man. It was
a lot.
I never seen it and I've been here for 11 years.
Yeah.
Driving up and down the street. I never saw it like that. I was like, this is nuts. And then my wife is looking by. We like, what's going on back there? We gotta go in next time.
So they rented the venue from you, and then they have the lot of people, right?
Right.
So did you start adding up how much money they was making and how much money you was missing out, or were
Not
you just
really, because I'm cool with the guy. So he told me off gate, we had a conversation about it. He was like, but they had to do so much because they were at another venue. Something happened with the contract, so they had to scramble to find a venue. So they didn't make what they could have made.
Yeah.
But with the amount of people out here, he showed me the numbers and everything. But I was already onto that. I've been going to trail rides. I know how many people show up. I know.
See, because I ain't understand.
Yeah.
I ain't understand. Because, in the real estate world, you just looking at one deal makes you average deal size,
Right.
I wasn't adding it up until I actually seen it. I'm like, oh, this could add up quick. And then on the next one, we're allowing people to bring coolers, which brings up your average ticket. So I was like, oh, this could add up, So could you tell us, may I ask how many of those trail rides you did?
We've hosted 4, I believe, but other people have hosted. We rented out to a couple of promotion groups, so we probably did close to 10 now.
Nice. Which way do you like better, when other people rent from you and they host, or when you guys host it?
It's more money in it, of course, when we
Amen.
host it. We're getting those tickets off the door. It is more work, but we've got the system down so well now that it's not that bad. I rent the lights.
And that's the key word, systemized.
That's it. Yeah, my out-of-pocket cost is lights and security. Everything else is
nice.
Because it pays for itself.
Right.
Essentially. You know, you might have some startup investment, but really that's just marketing and stuff. Because you already got the place.
The first one we did that we hosted was a bonfire for my birthday.
Nice.
That was in November. So again, we closed in July. We were already hosting by November. I had to like build the fire pit. That one cost, it was more of a startup. But again, the fire pit's there now. I don't got to build it every time. You know what I'm saying? So that was an initial investment, but it's there now. So, but that one, because it was our first one, we did $10 a ticket. We still had 300-400 people out here.
Nice.
For our first event.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of issues with the neighbors?
Do I?
Well, let me ask you a question, because Sawand said the same thing. Why do you think the neighbors complain?
Why do you think the neighbors complain? You've been here 11 years. Why you live down the street? Why do you think the neighbors complain?
Yeah, I want you to tell them. I know why.
Well, it's not a lot of people doing this to look like us.
For
to
sure.
be frank. And I know that that's the case because the neighbors that do look like us come by and support.
Right.
And I got it's not all of them. Please don't get me wrong. I got a few neighbors that I love that don't look like us, and they're coming around like, hey, I've been here 20 years. It's racism around here, like straight up, point blank, period. There was a petition going around, shut the event center down, passing out like little flyers to meet under the oak tree, as they called it, to discuss the event center. They've labeled us as we're no longer a farm, we're an event center. I've gotten nasty letters, trying to tell me what I can and cannot do, where I can and cannot ride my horses.
Oh my God.
And it's like, I'm not bothering it. Come party with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm open arms, you know, we grilling, stop by, get a plate, like, come, you know, talk to, and the neighbors that have taken the time to come and talk to me like a human being, I've, you know, addressed their concerns. People parking in your yard, I'm sorry, I apologize, my bad. You know, these are what we've done to correct that.
Amen.
So, but the other ones, it just is.
It's no pleasing.
You know?
Yeah, it's no pleasing.
And let me play devil's advocate a little bit, all right? And I'm going based off of the comments from our video.
Oh, the comments was crazy.
Yeah, the comments was crazy.
Comments was crazy.
But some people say, well, we move out to a specific area so that we could get away from the noise.
Right.
Well, how would you rebut that?
The noise ordinance is 11 o'clock.
Not even noise, just...
Right.
No, but hold on, that's the law though.
Right, that's
the
what
law
I'm saying.
is the
My
law.
point is that
actually, it's not even 11, is it? I think it's what, 9 o'clock or something like that?
It's 11.
11?
So we have to shut it down by 11. We can't, no noise after 11. But that's the law.
Right.
You know, so if I, just like an assignment of contract, people get upset that I make 20 grand on an assignment. It's the law. I can do that.
Right.
So if I'm utilizing the law to my advantage, that's not wrong.
Right.
And if you try to make it seem like I did something wrong, that's harassment. That's not cool.
That's my point.
And it's gotten to that harassing point. Like it's gotten there. It's past there, actually.
And that's where I'm going at. That's where I'm going with it, right? So there was a lot of people, not a lot. There was maybe we had 15,000 likes on that video as of today.
Yeah.
And maybe 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 5 people.
It might have been like 10.
All right, so 10 people just finding a reason to beef with everything that we was talking about with the video. You know what I mean?
Just like people pay for privacy.
Right.
You know, it's like, well, you can only pay for the privacy that's yours.
Right.
You know, this is her privacy. This is her 7 acres. So she paid for this particular privacy.
And I just wanted to address that to clarify that everybody's not the same, number one. And this is her property. Yeah. You know, just like that's your property.
Yeah, that's
it's like my property is my property.
Right.
What I do on my property is my business. You know what I mean?
And just like we've got neighbors that they party, they might not be at the, you know, the way we party, but I hear their music till 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't care.
And you don't care.
It's none of my business.
Right.
Like I don't care. I'm not calling the police every time I hear their music.
Exactly.
Right.
We can be up here. We had the fire lit. One of my previous Saddle Club members, she graduated from A&T. She had like 6 people over. We had the speakers, the inside speakers now, not the DJ speakers, and the fire lit. The sheriff was calling me, are you having an event? No. It's like 9 o'clock.
6 people.
6 people.
Yeah, so my point is people find reasons to complain about everything.
Like
6 people on 7 acres.
Yeah.
6 people on 7 acres.
Like, and they drove by.
What's up, man?
Doing all right?
Oh, hey, Ernie.
Good.
What's going on, bro? Good to see you again.
I was doing it. You good.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good.
So that was I wanted to address that because I think that people, you know, when you hear both sides of the, you know, you hear 2 different stories from 2 different people. You know, I think people could have a better understanding if they chose to understand.
And like I said, the neighbors that have come to me and talked to me, like one of my neighbors, she went on the farm website, she found my phone number, she called me and was like, hey, do as you please, just please keep people off my property.
Yeah,
right.
And that's understandable.
Right.
And I'm like, I apologize. And that was an event and it was a lesson learned.
Yes.
We had rented the field out. They were charging for parking for their event.
Right.
So now I have a rule: you can't charge for parking. Because if you
Exactly.
charge for parking, people are going to go elsewhere and park.
Yeah.
So like I've implemented things. I've made everyone happy, and it's still an issue.
Right.
So it's just like at this point, I don't care.
Let's talk about. That's one thing that I like that you said about my man right here. When he realized that he's cool with the things that you do on your property, and he
Right
can
next
benefit
door.
from it right next door. Like, what was that conversation like when the overflow went in,
sure.
On parking, and he was okay with that? What was that like?
So they actually had went and talked to him before they had their event. So they
Nice.
went and canvassed the neighborhood and was like, hey, I'm just letting you know we're having this event. If you would like to open up your yard for parking, please do so. We'll pay you for your yard, or you can charge what you please.
Nice.
Anthony, he took that, like I would have. If someone's having a party and y'all need to park, let's do it.
Right.
So he opened up his yard and packed cars in at like $25 a car. And
Let's get it.
And Anthony, he's cool. He comes to our parties. He's a firearms dealer. So
Nice.
he comes over and we hosted a carry and conceal class over here. Like, that's what neighbors do. You look out for me, I look out for you.
Exactly.
Now, is this the guy
I love that.
he's not on the corner?
No, he's right here.
He's
Like,
right next door.
And that's
Nice.
the thing. My neighbors that are adjacent to me are cool. They
Yeah.
come to the parties. It's the neighbors where you live,
Yeah.
2 miles down the road, complaining. And I have gotten a letter, like, I live 2 miles down the road and I can hear your music.
That's
so
a
I
lie.
Google.
I live 2 miles down the road and I can't.
Like,
Yeah.
come on now. Come
Yeah.
on. You
I'm
might
not
hear
even-
it.
I'm a
You
mile
might
and a
hear
half
it
away and I
driving
can't
by.
hear nothing.
Right. You might hear it driving by,
That's what
but
they
I mean,
mean. That's what they mean. They mean I can hear it driving by on the way to my house.
I'm
That's what
sitting
they
in my living room.
You can't even do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I drive by. I can't hear nothing that's going on back here, which is a point I wanted to bring up. With this size land, how it's kind of difficult to hear what's really going on.
Right.
Even if you blast in the music.
And it's
there's
like,
so much
again,
open space here.
We got a system.
Yeah.
So at 11 o'clock, we don't shut our parties down. We turn the music down.
Right.
The dance floor is right here at the speakers. You don't need to have the music blasting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
and like
okay,
you said,
yes.
we're in the middle of 7 acres. You cannot hear.
Yeah.
So there's other ways that you're making money
Nice.
from this that won't cause the neighbors to call the
Right.
cops on you, right?
Right.
What are some of those ways?
So we've done funny thing. We had a community Easter egg hunt. It was
Nice.
more people that didn't look like us than it was people that looked like us.
Facts.
But again, everybody come in. I don't discriminate.
How much did you charge for that?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, great.
So that was
That's what's
hosted
up.
by the farm. That was
Yeah.
let me give back to the community because
Nice.
we are here and we want to do more than party.
Right.
I'm really big on community service. I'm really big on doing things for the kids. Oftentimes we give away horse lessons for the kids because, keep the kids out of trouble. I don't,
Yeah.
want
That's a good
provide
way.
something to do.
That's a good way to have that balance. With
Yeah.
the
But you would
community.
think.
So you have
would
people.
think.
You do stuff for the community.
Yeah.
Right.
So that they can understand.
Right.
Absolutely.
And even though you're legitimately running a party
Right.
and everything is legal, listen, I'm doing this today. I don't do it all the time.
Right.
But I'm also doing this for you.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
I love the Easter
Right.
egg hunt.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, so-
That's great.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that was all out of pocket. That was, and these parties that they're complaining about funds, things like the Easter egg hunt.
To help
Because I do
people,
run a
yeah.
nonprofit, so I give back more than I party. For
That's
sure.
what's up.
For sure.
Well, can we check out the horses?
Let's go. All right, so if you had to think about a list of ways that you're making money off of this land, what would be your top 5 ways that you would say right now?
Definitely events. Events is number one once we get back up and running. And then my passion is horse riding. So the horse lessons, I love teaching kids how to ride adults.
Yeah.
We've had, the 80 plus on horses recently. Let me see.
80 plus?
Yeah, 80 years old.
That's
We had an 80-year-old lady on
What
a horse.
are you charging for
So
horse
kids
lessons?
lessons are $65 for kids 12 and under.
Per
and
lesson,
then,
right?
Yes.
Got it.
And the lessons are an hour and a half, so that's 90 minutes worth of time. And adults are $80.
Got it.
Nice.
For
You
sure.
got anybody on monthly packages or anything like that?
We got people that dibble and dabble that say they want to do it. You know how we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we are. But not yet. Not that have come consistently.
Got it.
Yet. It's coming though. There's a lot of interest. If the weather would stop, like would hold up, I think we'd have a lot more traction there.
Yeah. So you got, you mentioned the events, the trail rides. You would call those the events.
Yep.
You got the horse lessons. What else?
We do field trips. Field trips, summer camps, daycares. We do all of that.
I saw that. Yep.
We do date nights, so we'll set up the barn all nice and have like a bottle of wine and a paint and sip and all of that as well.
Nice.
That's definitely a vibe.
And the horse boarding.
Paint and sip.
Yeah, we do that.
I went to one of those in Charlotte. There's one downtown Greensboro too.
Yeah.
But that's
we do it for like small groups for people that don't want to do it with other people. You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Birthday parties a lot. We do a lot of those too. Family reunions. So outside of events, just the event space in general. We do have an open stall right now, to your point. So we do allow certain people, if I know you, to board. We are in the process of building out a larger horse stable, so we will have more space for people to be able to keep their horses as well.
That's fire, man.
That's awesome.
A lot of different ways to make money with this, and you would say the event space for you is the biggest bag.
For sure.
What did that look like?
So
I don't know if you want to drop it.
Yeah, I mean, well, our first party, again, that was just $10. And it was marketed as a birthday party for me, so we didn't get as much traction as we would have liked. Now, we still had a good turnout. But that one was, I think we had about 300 people at $10 a head. So that's, $3,000. That one was like a break even, because again, I had to build out the fire pit. I had to do a lot. That was our first one.
Thank you for the transparency.
Second one, I think the second one we dropped, the Lovers and Friends. That's the one that went viral. And that's the one where the neighbors started complaining. They didn't too much care about the bonfire one, but that second one, it was at 20, we probably cleared 15,000.
Nice.
Easy. And
that takes care of the mortgage for multiple months.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what I'm saying? And then it grew from there. So Spring Fling, that one was really big too. And my overhead, all I'm paying is security and to rent the lights.
So really it's just the vibe that you create. So the vibe is what's going to draw the people. But then you mentioned that you had other people that was already doing parties. They promoting it. You know what I mean? And then that's just bringing in the people. Now they know who you are.
And it's a lot of like, if we could be fully up and functioning. So throughout the summer, before the neighbors started tripping, I was booked every Friday and Saturday. From like from like April to August. I had to cancel all of that because, the county called and whatever. But the amount of money I missed out on just because the neighbors being them is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so, make sure you keep note of that. Note of that.
What's the overhead like to operate? I know you got Ernie here.
Yeah, Ernie is here. I ain't going to put his business out there. Ernie, you know what I'm saying? Ernie is here doing community service, if you will. So that's just me providing a safe space for somebody to come reacclimate, if you will.
We got 4 halfway houses, so
for sure. We it's not much. I mean, it's my mortgage. My mortgage is like $3,500. But again, we have a party. You don't got to worry about that for a couple.
There's no buts. $3,500 is easy.
Right.
I got 3 bedroom, 2 baths for rent for $2,500.
Right.
So that's great.
Sure. You said $3,500?
Yeah, that's my mortgage, and that's for all of this.
Amen.
The porta potties are like $420 a month, and that's if I keep all 4 of them. But again, I have an event. None of that's coming out of my pocket.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I rent the lights. I don't own my next step is to own the lights so I can rent them out to other people. But I rent the lights. They're like $200 a light, one in each corner of the field. And that's it. My security, shout out to Johnson Protection Agency.
So you're under $5,000 a month, basically.
Definitely.
Under $5,000 a month, and that's gonna pay for itself. You know what I mean? Now you got a landlocked lot from the guy who used to own this property. He owns property back there. Their family is landlocked, 17 acres of land, right? So technically, on 7 acres in North Carolina, are you considered to be a farm right now?
I'm considered to be a farm because everything is zoned as ag. I've got a farm track number and all of that. But I don't have 10 acres, so I can't be a bona fide farm, if you will.
Amen.
Now that's interesting because that's interesting. I just learned that. So you can be a farm. It was probably grandfathered in.
So the zoning is still agriculture, and then there's a certain list of things that you can do under ag, which is farming, but you don't get the bona fide farm benefits.
Right.
So like the tax benefits and stuff like that?
Right.
Okay, example. Yeah, so the present use value, tax benefit, that's one. So your property taxes drop. You, bona fide farm gives you permit exemption. So if I'm building a barn and I'm gonna use it for farm use, I don't have to pull any permits. Okay, that's a big deal. You know, if I'm burning a pile of brush and it's helping maintain the farm, that's an exemption. I don't have to pull a permit. Those kind of things. So she's operating. She got a farm track number and from the NRCS.
Right.
Yeah. So she's still operating as a farm. She just doesn't have bona fide farm status.
Right.
So you got 17 acres back here that you can pick up from the family member.
Right.
You know, the person that was related to this person.
Right.
And that land is landlocked, so he can't do nothing with it right now.
Right.
And
it's amazing.
You can probably do it through seller financing.
I'm hoping.
You hoping?
Me and Sawand got to talk about that because realtor, I know what I was taught, so I'm still learning the seller financing part.
Yeah.
Don't offer him no money down because he got. You know, he can't do nothing with the land anyway. Offer him monthly payments and drop that price. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Now technically, because I know you were saying the other day that it's a parcel that connects to another parcel that he has.
Yes.
You know, so he's gonna want a little something to pay for that separation, you know, of the track.
Right.
But other than that, it's I would offer to let him know I'm willing to pay for the separation.
For sure.
You know.
And it backs up to 85.
So it runs from here all the way to 85. Like you can hear the traffic.
Yeah, I can hear it.
It runs straight to 85, but it does run behind a couple of.
We gotta talk about that ASAP.
We
gotta get ASAP.
Be a bona fide farm at that point,
and
obviously.
His property has already got that status, so it's grandfathered in. I wouldn't have to worry about it.
So you'll have 24 acres of land with that add-on pretty much.
Yeah.
24 acres. Man, you know what you can do with that, bro?
And my mind is just going, I just want to ride my horses. Like, I know there's other things I can do, but I just want to cut trails. And I want to actually, you know what I'm saying? Because we've got field, but, you know, horses want to be on
trails.
A trail.
Yeah, trails. That's why I got to have y'all out. That's why I got to have y'all out.
For sure.
I love seeing the golf cart.
No, this is dope,
I love seeing the golf
cart.
So every time I'm like, it's amazing.
So you make most of your money on the events. You make, you know, you are zone agricultural. Once you get that, you can become a bona fide farm. And you're still under $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even with that purchase back there.
Right.
The equestrian life is the big deal, and
that's the big deal.
That's just such a big deal.
Also, this pond over here belongs to the neighbor, but it looked like it's on your property.
Right. So I own everything around the pond but the pond. And it's literally like a small little sliver of their property leading to the pond.
And it ain't even his property. He's just renting.
He's a renter.
Yeah. He's renting.
That man that owns both of these houses beside me owns the pond, but there's tenants in those.
Yeah, you got to pick up those two properties too then.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean? Exactly. And honestly, that's the way we change things. That's the way we change things. I'm not just gonna pick up this one. I'm gonna pick up what's behind me. I'm gonna pick up what's beside me. You know, going into it with that mentality, you know, things change. Things change.
You want to show us around a little bit?
Yeah, we can walk down.
Let's go. Talk about the horses.
What
I know you got names
8?
for them.
Yeah, what made you want 8 of them?
So I had one. We started off with Dinero. He's to the left. Dinero is the one we purchased first.
Dinero?
Dinero. Yep.
I like that.
How much is it to purchase a horse?
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. So Dinero we paid like $25 for, but Dinero is dead broke. He's our lesson horse. I'll put anyone on the horse.
Yeah.
You can go get a $500 horse, but you ain't gonna be able to jump on it and ride it.
Okay.
So horses range. It depends on the training.
So you say you're not gonna be able to jump on a $500 horse?
I mean, you can jump on it, but you're gonna get thrown off.
You gotta train it. Yeah, you gotta train it.
So, and there's different like qualities of
crazy.
horses, if you will. There's different breeds. There's paper, not paper. It's a lot that goes into it.
What do you feel like the most you're gonna pay for a horse would be for a good horse?
It depends. Like you got
the most is high.
$500 horses and you got $50,000 horses. So it just depends on what you want to do with the horse. If you want like a show horse, you're gonna pay $20,000-$30,000
for sure.
All I do is trail ride. I don't need all that fancy stuff.
That makes sense.
So,
So for a trail ride horse, now you got 8 of them. What the bag look like?
You can get a solid trail horse for $25 to $30,000. You can get it for cheaper, but it might be old. Yeah.
So 8 of them, you looked at about $25,000.
See, not really.
No?
Because with a nonprofit and my ability to be able to talk to people want to give me things.
Amen.
That's why I got to build out more stalls, because I've got people asking like, "Hey, I got 4 horses. You want them for free?"
Yeah.
So I just got to get my fencing right. I got to get my space right. I need that acreage because I can't take away from this because this is the cash cow.
This is the cash cow. Yes, absolutely.
So I did not want 8. It just kind of happened. I had one that I bought it together with my son's nanny. We took lessons at the same time. So it was our horse, but it's 2 people.
Gotcha.
So then I bought 2. And then I got 3. And then I got 2 ponies. You know, my son's 4. He can ride a full-size horse, but, you know, birthday parties, we got 2 ponies. And then we wanted our personal horses. So we have the lesson horses, but then it's like, okay, I've got my personal horse that nobody rides.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 lesson horses, my personal horse, my nanny's personal horse. My son has 2 ponies, and it just turned into 8 real fast.
Dope. That's dope.
So it wasn't like you accumulated them all at one time. You really just...
Yeah, it was strategic. It was.
Picked it up over time.
Yeah, I love that.
Yo, you got some other...
Bro, one horse she brought over to the, she brought over to the manor, and he's ready to get out. So he's like kicking it. He's kicking the trailer like, I want to get out.
That's De Niro. He's real impatient.
Yeah. By the time he got out, he was just like, yeah, we here, you know?
Yeah.
So you got De Niro.
I've got De Niro. He's our lesson horse. Prada.
Taz.
Taz we used to race. We don't really ride Taz too much. He's the one right here in the middle. And the 2 ponies are Patches and Jabo. And then we've got 4 over here in these stalls.
And then you got the dog, Denali.
Denali's annoying, but she's a farm dog. Denali protects the chickens. We also have chickens and goats out here as well.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. That's what's up. So do you eat the eggs from the chickens?
I do.
Okay, that's what's up.
So you didn't go through the egg crisis?
Nah, I was good. I was good. We had so many eggs, we were giving away eggs. Like, please take them.
No doubt. No doubt. Sure. How many eggs do you normally get every day?
Really 1 per chicken. So at least a dozen.
Now, how much does it cost to get a chicken?
A couple dollars.
Couple of dollars. Right?
Like $5.
And the benefit from it is, you know what I mean?
And you can eat the bird. I'm not that country yet. To be slaughtering birds.
You gotta do it. It's not hard.
I don't know.
Wait. What are we talking about?
Eating the chickens.
Eating the chickens.
Oh, what? You eat chicken from the store?
See, they clean it and they do all that.
Hey,
and I know that it's fresh from me. Everybody's like, you gotta do it.
But let me explain. Now you understand me being a city boy. Now you understand my why I think that way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's different.
I'm not. She said I'm not that country yet.
Look, I had a hard time eating the eggs because it's like I just watched you lay this egg. Like I had to wrap my brain around.
And they make a bunch of noise too. They go, they make a bunch of noise having the eggs.
Maybe if somebody does it for me and I don't see it, but it's like you was my friend and now I'm eating you. Like it's rough. But if I do transition into that, I will get like meat birds for that, and I won't get attached to them.
I got you.
Oh yeah.
See, Sawand, he don't care. He's
no, my son will look at the chicken. I'm gonna eat you.
So you got a little bit of city in you then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
I feel myself starting to transition to more on with y'all though, man. So it's something I'm open to it. I mean, eventually, times get real hard. With a food crisis or something like that, you got your own land to produce off of. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's real good.
Yeah, this is Zydeco. Zydeco is one of Sonny's personal horses. So she was one of the personal horses.
Nice.
She is a paint horse, Tennessee Walker.
So you got Zydeco.
This is Camo. Camo is my personal horse.
Camo.
My blue-eyed baby.
Yeah.
Wow, you're so
And then
strong.
the black one?
The black one is Citron. So Citron, as big as she is a baby. Can you come here?
A baby like how old?
Like 2.
2, okay.
Come
That's big.
Up here. So, yeah. Yep.
Cool. You want to go see some of the other animals?
Yo, so how old is this one?
I think she's 8.
Oh my gosh.
8.
How much do they weigh? Like 2,000, 3,000 pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
so this one is Prada. DJ is our horse trainer.
Oh, nice. Oh, he was the one that was jumping around.
He'll do all the extra stuff that I'm not going to do. I just want to walk. But DJ, he do the most.
And then you got the goats.
So yeah, we have 4 at the moment. We're definitely going to get some more.
Now, what do y'all use the goats for?
To entertain kids, to be honest.
Yep, for birthday parties.
Yep, birthday parties. I do like a competition. Who can catch the goat? It keeps them occupied for a good 30 minutes to an hour for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I like the goats.
Yeah, I've got 4 goats. The brown and white one is a fainer. So the kids love to see them.
When you get this 17 acres, they're going to be a great help for you. They're going to be a great help for you.
Clear it all out. Absolutely.
No, my neighbors last year, he let his goats come over and just eat on my back part where I keep a habitat.
Yeah.
And they ate so much so quick. It was like a couple weeks. They had ate through like 5 acres, And he actually charged me a little money for that too. But which was cool. Which was cool. I didn't even know they did that. I didn't even know people.
And they eat. They don't get full, so it's like they just eat. And
really?
we got them when they were like little.
Full?
No goats, so like they don't.
They just keep
full.
eating.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why it's best to just have them graze. To just have them, is eat grass because that's
For sure.
They just like to eat.
But they don't get fat either.
Not if you don't give them grain. So I give mine grain like every now and then,
Gotcha.
just to like provide extra nutrients. But no.
So check it out. Is there anything else that you feel someone else would benefit from when it comes to owning a farm? I know you mentioned this is 7 acres.
Mm-hmm.
You're eventually going to be a Bonafide farm, right? We know that's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
In other states, you know, because we got people looking at this from across the entire, really the world.
Right, right.
You know, but if we keeping it specifically to the states, in other states, the requirements are different. So we mentioned that in our video, how people should definitely look to see what the local requirements are in order to be able to operate a farm. But would you consider yourself to be more city than country?
I'm a country girl at heart. Like I'm from Raleigh. My parents moved to Fuquay. Nobody even knows where Fuquay is.
I never even heard of it.
Exactly. But I've always been a country
Arena.
girl at heart. My dad lives in Pittsburgh. He's got a couple of acres himself.
Got you.
And I really fell in love with his home because he's got the freedom. He's got the privacy. There's no one around him. So definitely a country girl at heart. Charlotte changed me a bit because I wasn't my entire adult years. I was in Charlotte.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the city comes from. Like, but you know, definitely a country girl at heart for sure.
So with that being said, do you feel like this is the life for everybody? I mean, that's a blanket statement. I get it.
I feel like it's the life for everyone that wants to leave a legacy, for sure.
Yeah.
If you've got little ones or even family members, because I'm the first to do this.
Right.
You know, my family, they have homes, but they're in neighborhoods. Like I said, my dad has a couple acres, but you know, me and my siblings, we're talking about, okay, I get that land behind me. Now y'all got a place. Y'all got an acre. You got an acre. You got an acre.
Nice.
So it's
That's
more so like our own little compound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we don't really have to worry about anyone else. You know, we got each other. So
You know, it's funny because, you know, when you think about somebody like me who initially I wasn't even interested in owning a lot of land. I was kind of more like you.
Right.
Then when he got his and we did that video, that's what really opened my mind up. Like, wow, you could do all of these different things.
When I first brought him over, he was like, "Oh, dream house." You know, he wasn't even looking at the land. He wasn't even looking at the land.
I don't care. I didn't care about the land, right? But when you look at the land part of it, you know, it opens up a lot of different things for
sure
for you.
And I had to shift my mind because I'm still like, all right, I want my house. Like I got the land first, check. Now I want my house. Like I'm a woman. I want the big kitchen. I want all these nice things. But I had to sacrifice that just for a little while. I know it's coming, but it definitely was a sacrifice in order to be able to get the land for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So you do this primarily for the legacy, for your privacy, you know, for having the opportunity to be land. But if you're a homebody, should you do something like this?
Absolutely.
Why?
Just because you don't have to, we need to go somewhere for it. Like and as a homebody, I am that. Like now all of the events are here. I'm also a host. I like to entertain.
Yeah.
Like I said, my family's here a couple times a week. My nieces and nephews are running up and down the field. It's just, I had my own family reunion here last month. So it's just, it's home, you know. I don't need to go do anything but grocery shop.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then once I, you know, get the garden going, I don't even have to do that. So it's definitely, you want to be somewhere where you feel comfortable. You want to be somewhere where you feel at peace. And that, I mean, what's more peaceful than this, for sure.
And it's a lot of work.
It is, but you got to surround yourself with people that'll help too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely. If it was just me, I don't know if I would have bought, you know, all of this. But you definitely got to surround yourself with people that'll help you get it.
I definitely think God bless people with you, like stuff like this, because you're willing to share.
For sure.
You know, and I think that ability of being willing to have a large plate, you know, God bless us, you know, honestly, He bless all of us with a large plate.
For sure.
And all of us, what we have in common is we're willing to share.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that's dope. I was out here with the geese, and you know, they like fly in a V. Was out here the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. I love
I'm
that.
surprised they're not out here. And they kind of come and go.
That's kind of my forte, man. I like nature. I like the visual aspect of it all. But I never thought about the land aspect, how you can, you know what I mean? It's just, my appreciation for it is just on a different level at this point. So if people wanted to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
5811farm.com, 5811farm.com. Everything's through there. You can subscribe. We've got our lesson links, our Instagram, all of our social media is 5811 Farm and Stables. You can pretty much find us anywhere. I am the person behind the website. So if you reach out, it will be me to get in contact with you.
Nice.
Now I know that the address here is not 5811. Why did you name it 5811?
So I named it 5811 because of it's a play on Isaiah 58:11, which essentially means God will provide. And I truly believe in my heart that God will provide everything that we need for sure.
Nice. That's what's up. This is a place of abundance. We look forward to seeing y'all on these horses.
For sure.
My girl.
For sure.
Yeah, that's
For sure.
awesome, man.
Check
That's
out
awesome.
5811 Stables and Farms, is it?
Farm and Stables. Yep.
Farms and Stables. I'm going to leave the link in the description box for you guys. Make sure you check out Michelle's website. Come support her. And also support her social media,
Sure.
you know, all of the social media channels, really, so that, you know, you guys can learn more from her and you can be able to get your first farm going as well. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. Leave a comment. Let us know what else you want to see regarding farm hacking, regarding anything real estate investing or business in general on this channel. We'll be sure to put that together for you. See you on the next one. Take care.